Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Melissa's Intuitive Tarot, and today we're bringing you a reading for Friday, August 21st, 2026 through the 27th. Okay, we're looking at a full week's collective energy here, and out of the Light Seers Tarot, we have the Page of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and at the very top, the overarching card there says you're already doing it. And that's out of the Work Your Light deck. So beautiful energy coming in with this. A lot of swords here. I feel as though there could be a lot of people in their heads running things through their mind over and over, trying to process things, overthinking, right? Tapping into this energy, feeling as though also that you could feel like you're a rebel without a cause right now, right? You could be moving through your life trying to fit in, find the crowd that matches you, trying to get in where you fit in, right? Really wanting to blend in, wanting to not feel rejected, wanting to feel secure in those that are around you and how they accept you, right? But there's this other part of you, this deep longing for that sense of belonging that cannot be satisfied by just trying to get in where you fit in, right? It's this internal truth seeker, this moving forward, moving into new energy, seeking truth, seeking that oneness and that belonging as a result of that. And that's you being a part of the bigger whole and knowing that you are one part of the whole and that we are all one, right? So that's moving into that energy. And that is where this fulfillment comes in that satisfies you, that satisfies that longing and that urge, right? And so you're really moving into a space here where I feel as though you could be walking a bit of a fine line. Perhaps you are. Um, Wearing that mask, right? So to speak, of that person trying to get in where you fit in during the day. And then at night, where you could be yourself and you're at home, you are someone a little bit different, right? You believe in all of the spiritual signs and messages that you're receiving, right? You're balancing two worlds, right? This could even be balancing two different generations. Perhaps you were influenced by two very different generations in your life. And so this ultimately leads to a space where you could feel a little bit distracted, right? Make sure that you're taking time to disconnect from the screens, really not using that as a space to kind of forget about that feeling that kind of creeps up, right? To find this temporary feeling of happiness and gratification, something that makes you laugh, right? It helps you to forget about all of that because this isn't going away. It's not going away soon, okay? So this is really something that I feel as though you could be doing as an idea to run from something, run from your truth, run from who you really are, right? And if you want the fastest way to achieve success, right? It's about the long game, right? And that's what's going to up this level of satisfaction, this level of fulfillment, right? We cannot keep running from ourselves, right? So we have to be able to push through this energy so that we can get through to the other side of that. Now, there is a phrase that comes in with this. I feel that there's a lot to be said about surrender and giving it to God, right? Really pushing you through this as you surrender all of the fears associated with rejection, surrender all the fears associated with not belonging, surrender all the fears of losing those around you because they no longer resonate, right? You are operating at a different frequency as a result of your growth. And it's okay for you to embrace that, okay? You cannot hide. This is about pushing past the limitations of the mind. That's where those swords kind of come in, right? You're stuck in these mental loops and you're a prisoner and a guard of your own truth, right? So these mental loops that you keep playing out in your mind, these things that keep keeping you stuck, right? You have the key to unlock that, and only you have the key to unlock that, right? So the key is to start to quiet your mind when some of these thoughts kind of creep in on us, right? Question them. Is that true, right? And I think that this is where you could come to the realization that you are the master of your masterpiece, right? You are the architect of your life. And so indulge yourself, even if it feels a little bit foreign at first. I think you bring a very unique version of yourself into the different areas of life that you navigate, right? Perhaps you're one person at work and you are one person at home, and then you're another version when you're in your love and relationships and operating through that, right? At work, you could have a lot of boundaries, but you could keep yourself quiet as to your true thoughts, right? It almost dims your power just a little bit, dims your light. You're not your full self at work. When you're at home, you're in this restorative flow, right? Your raw, authentic self. You are who you are, and zero F's given, right? And then there's this other version in love and relationships, right? Where you're curious and you want to move through that and you want to be open and vulnerable, right? There's this quiet strength that you bring to these love and relationships. So I challenge you to try to integrate and move through all of those phases by bringing your full self into each one of them. You can be every single version of yourself all at once, okay? I think that that's something that's happening as a result of you compartmentalizing, right? You're operating in a very different space in each one of those areas. And so you're just shrinking yourself a bit to fit in, okay? And I think that that's where you have to wonder what's on the other side of that. If you were to allow yourself to show up at work fully as yourself, what would happen? Would it fall away? Would you speak your truth and you would fall, that situation wouldn't resonate anymore and it would fall away? Possibly, right? But it's being able to embrace that and move to the other side of that. It clears that space if that isn't really resonant to who you truly are, right? So, you are all of your strengths, you are all of your weaknesses, you are all of your lessons all at once, right? You are your whole self, right? And think that this is where if you're letting yourself move into that space of full expansion, you could really dramatically up your game. Perhaps that work situation would fall away because there's something better for you, something that matches better. Perhaps you're a beautiful debater, right? You like to get into debates and you like facts and you love information and you love to work through information, right? And to see another's point of view. Perhaps a different job would suit you, right? But that would be you showing up as your full authentic self in that. And so this is where that full expansion, dramatically upping your game, it I feel like it's like the tippy top. That's the phrase that came in with that. That's silly. But it's almost like a little child standing on their tippy toes trying to see what's on the top of the counter. Is there a cookie? you know? And I think that this is really attesting to your capacity to feel and express yourself, right? I think that this correlates directly to your capacity to love and be loved, right? Everybody wants to manifest this beautiful love story for themselves. Everybody wants to move into that energy, but sometimes it takes a little bit of work. We have to be able to show up fully loving ourselves in order to be that open channel to pull in and gravitate that love to you, right? And so this is about expanding your container, right? To allow your body to accommodate these higher frequencies, right? Expanding your nervous system, amplifying your energy, right? And I think that this is where you could really step into your full potential on the other side of that, right? So, where you can show up as your whole self. Okay. Crystals that could help you through this right now would be a malachite, a rose quartz, uh, and a tiger's eye, right? It would really help you to move through some of this energy. The quartz could really help you to tap into that self love. The malachite could really open your heart, right? And then the tiger's eye is really, the tiger eye is going to really help you anchor that abundance in on the other side of this. So if you're working, if you're open to using crystals and that is something that resonates with you, I just wanted to throw that out there. But stepping into this card here at the top, you are already doing it. You're already doing it, right? So don't overthink it. Don't allow yourself to get lost in the thoughts of all of it. It's already happening, right? All you have to do is continue taking one step at a time to get you through this energy. And before you know it, you'll be more and more comfortable and confident being your full self, your full version of yourself at all levels, showing up for yourself throughout every part of your life as you flow. right? You'll be in a flow. It's a beautiful energy. So stepping into that, you are already doing it. If you are feeling inclined, I invite you to repeat after me. I open my heart to give and receive unconditional love, amplified through this space. Okay. Also, speak into alignment if you're feeling called. I strip away the illusions of my containment. I release the mental cages that I've built out of fear. I surrender all versions of myself to the divine. I am the master of my masterpiece, fully expanded, entirely whole, and ready to be deeply loved. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And if you're feeling called to take this a step further, I do have on my Buy Me a Coffee page a upgrade for your light body to increase your capacity to hold these frequencies as they come in, really allowing you to step into that space where you're expanding your nervous system, you're moving into those higher frequencies. And this would help you to release some of the things from the past and create new space for these higher frequencies as they come in. If you're feeling called to do that, that link will be in the description below. And also I will pin it in the top of the comments so you could find it very easily. On the other side of this, hang tight, guys. This is going to increase our capacity for our blessings, okay? If you're feeling the restriction of these swords in your situation, know that you can anchor this Queen of Pentacles energy, okay, in with your current reality. All you have to do is keep doing what you're doing, take one step at a time, and show up for yourself more and more each day, okay? So thank you so much for your time and energy today. If you've watched me all the way through, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Take care.